welcome back to the Woodlot. Today we're going to talk real quick about cant hooks. And if you hadn't noticed, I switched into my black hat. Man, we had several hard frosts already. We even had a dusting of snow. There's the guineas. And so I usually switch over to my hat here. This is a beaver hat from the Beaver Hat Company. And during the winter time, just in case you're new around here and you never saw that before, I switch my hats going into winter, and I'll wear this all through winter until early spring. But real quick about cant hooks and the last video that we did on snatching up that log. Appreciate you guys watching that video and also giving some ideas and some ways we could improve our situation. We're not professionals at doing this yet, right? And you have to start somewhere. A lot of you guys were talking about cant hooks and all this stuff. Let me explain to you about how all this went down. So basically it was like this situation where it was like, you know, we were kind of getting it together at scale. Like as it was happening, we were figuring out how we were going to do it, and then we were taking it from there. So the first step would be getting the winch on the trailer, because we're going to need something to pull the logs onto the trailer. And then we had the ramps, and we thought a steel plate on the ramps would allow it to slide up the ramps and not get caught up in those grooves on the way up, right? So that's our first plan of attack. So when we started that part of the venture, I did have a cant hook. It was this one right here. It's my favorite go-to of all cant hooks. It's the Logox. It's a 3-in-1 actual forestry tool that I use around here all the time. It's my exclusive go-to, Logox. I'm going to leave a link down there. It's affiliate link, so if you get one of their bundles, we make a few pennies off of it. And but the bottom line is it's made in America, and it's a tool and a family that we trust and love. So this is my go-to all the time. Now this has a you know, like a space limitation. Okay, this is a smaller cant hook, and it can handle some pretty good logs. So this is all that I had at the time, right? There's no like you know, like doing this kind of stuff isn't like cool around here where we live. So to get a cant hook like something like this, you can't just run down to the hardware store or the farm and home, because what they have is what I used actually in the video, if you guys caught that, was a smaller cant hook about this size, and it actually didn't work at all. That's why I abandoned it right off. And I knew that it wouldn't work because I had already thought about bringing this, and I knew that those logs were too big. The other thing that we were running up against was time. That log had been laying there for a little bit, and we went to get the log, and then with the winch and the trailer, we figured out that we would definitely have to have the arch. So then we had to leave. We got the arch put on the trailer, then we showed back up and we pulled off the big log. So we were battling against a little bit of time. You don't want these logs laying around too long. As a matter of fact, just because that log was sitting there for a little bit, some scavengers that actually came into the yard and plucked away a lot of the smaller pieces for their own firewood. So all they had left were the big trunks that they couldn't actually maneuver themselves, and a little bit of stumps and stuff that I picked up while we were there and put in the truck that you guys saw in that video. So what I'll do right now is I'll take you guys up and I'll show you the log that we brought home, and I'll put these two cant hooks on there and explain to you why we didn't have one. And again, I had to order this actually on the internet and have it delivered here, because like I said, around here there's really not any forestry places where I can just pick up a big cant hook like this just any old day of the week. All right, here is the big log. Here is the Logox. Well, hold on, let me just set this down while I get this thing off my shoulder. Now you can see you're just not going to have the bite on this smaller one and the leverage that you need. That's the benefit of the longer one here with the wider grip, is because you have more leverage to actually dig in and then remove the log. Now truth be told, neither one of these two are going to move this log. It's just too big of a log. You'd have to have several fellas trying to go at the same time, I'd imagine. But you know, it's 7,000 pounds, and my little self isn't going to be able to do it. But I'm just trying to give you guys an idea on the difference. But if you can get some bite on this, you'll be surprised what it can actually move. It's got some good bite on it now. So again, we're learning this stuff kind of as we go. And as we go, the more we learn, the better, the better we're gonna get at it. So as you guys watch us, you'll be able to, point out some mistakes, also learn from the mistakes that we do make. So right now we're gonna go back down there and get part 2, the neighbor's tree. It's a huge oak, almost twice as big as this. So we only got a 12-foot section and then a couple of maybe 10-foot sections, and then a lot of the arms, branches coming off of it. So should be an interesting video. So let's go see how we get it on the trailer. So what I wanted to do for sure was I wanted to get the trailer out of the way so when Greg backs in, he'll have a smooth way to go to this pile. But I'm gonna take you guys over and show you the pile that we're gonna pick up today, and then I'll show you these oaks that we're gonna come back for. It's gonna take us several trips. Now these are all log ox size. And these are the bigger cant hook size. I mean, look at that thing. It's no joke. I wear a 13. So as you guys can see, we got our work cut out for us. So I explained to the homeowner that, yeah, this will probably take us a couple of trips because we only have one trailer that can lift up these things. And actually those as well, because together we can't just lift them up and buck them onto the trailer. A lot of times when we show up, I can just buck them with another guy on there, but you need heavy equipment for this whole tree. That's one of the things you got to think about if you're going to do this type of stuff, is getting them on and off the trailer once you secure them. And I just want you guys to realize this as well. This tree would have went to waste, right? This tree would have been taken to the tree yard and then they would have burned it up and pushed it into a pile. So we're actually going to salvage this tree, and who knows what we're going to create out of it. It could be firewood to heat us during the winter. It could be spoons and bowls that we carve and make out of that. We could make wood signs. We could actually make lumber for a log cabin. So just think about all the possibilities if you get into something like this, what you could do with it, especially if you're a creative person. Let's see if Greg backs the trailer up as good as me. So back there at the house, I said all that just to say, you kind of get started with what you got, and then you add to it as you go on. No one's going to show up at any site and have never done anything before and just become like a professional the first time they show up. So it's going to take us a little trial and error. It's going to take us a little mistakes and a little head banging to get it right. And reading your comments, that always helps too. But just saying, like, you got to start somewhere, you get what you got, you go get some, and then you build it as you go. take my jacket off. Working up some muscles out here. All the way over. Get it out of our way. Stop pushing it. Strap. Ready? See, that's why that log ox is my go-to. Gotta have it. Last log for the day, we'll make this a trailer load right here. It doesn't look like much, but this oak is so dense, it really weighs a lot of weight. So we're gonna put this last log on here and then strap both the trucks down. See that?
This one?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, man.
Go-to tool of choice. Links down below. First comment and description box. Saves you money and your back. And this is not a sponsored video. I just love these people. trailer is disconnected and we are ready for the next process of this trailer of basically firewood. Some of these logs on here will be able to mill a little bit, but for the most part, a lot of it is just firewood. But one thing I want to stress to you guys on this video is that it's not a one-size-fits-all world out there, so don't believe them if they tell you that it is. Every kid is different, every person is different, and every situation is different. What you want to do is accumulate tools on your homestead to make these chores go easier, or on your off-grid property. Because a lot of this stuff is heavy, and just the average man's not going to be able to take care of it. So you have to be able to have the tools, the hydraulics, the chains, a little bit of thinking power to maneuver through these situations that you find yourself in. So another successful load back to the homestead. We'll be going back in a future video to pick up those other big logs that are sitting there. You guys saw how big those were. Molly just came up to visit. Come here, girl. Daddy's home. Yay. This is Molly. She's our little puppy. We just got her a little while ago. She's doing so good. She's so feisty and fun. But all can hooks, you know, it's not a one size can hook fits all, right? You guys got to get out there, see what you're going to be dealing with, and then get the tools appropriate to the situations. And then the more tools you have, obviously, the better off you'll be. Check home sales, estate sales, garage sales, Craigslist, stuff like that, you know. We had to order those on the internet because no one around here runs out and buys some big cant hooks like that. But if you guys are interested in the Log Ox, a multi-purpose tool that I use the heck out of, the link's down below and there's a coupon code there for you, so it saves you a few bucks. Thanks as always for watching the video, and we'll see you guys, well heck, we'll see you tomorrow and we'll be putting that sawmill together.